Good morning. Is everyone ready? Okay. Good morning. Thank you all for being here today. I asked my team to prepare this press conference because we promised the community transparency and accountability, and we are delivering on that promise today. Before we dive into the details, I want to express my gratitude to the exceptional men and women of the Baton Rouge Police Department. Thank you for your unwavering commitment to your oath to protect and serve our community. Baton Rouge is an amazing city with more wins than losses. And the Baton Rouge Police Department is progressing. Our actions today are to maintain the status of moving forward. I do understand that my delivery yesterday during the city council meeting may not have represented to some my role as a leader. But I do not apologize for standing up for what is right. Although my passion may have offended some, that was not my intention. Please understand that my passion comes from my connection to the city and wanting to see it win. It also comes from the fact that no matter what I did for a living, I will always protect my family. That is who I am, and I know that is who most of you are. Let's be crystal clear. There is no room for misconduct or unethical behavior in our department. No one is above the law. And that includes members of our own department. As you know, we are currently conducting an administrative and criminal investigation regarding the now disbanded street crimes unit. We have also enlisted the help of the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the Department of Justice to ensure a thorough and unbiased examination of these matters. And we are fully committed to delivering just that. Today, I will provide you with the latest update on one of our criminal investigations. We are conducting a thorough investigation on the other complaints, but there are findings. And today, you're going to hear about accountability. In August of 2023 of this year, I assigned our intelligence unit to investigate a complaint I received from a concerned citizen. That complaint was related to an incident that occurred on September 28, 2020. And it involved several Baton Rouge police officers assigned to the street crimes unit. The incident occurred inside of a bathroom at the Baton Rouge Police Department's 1st District Precinct, located at 4445 Plank Road in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. The allegations are that a male subject who was under arrest, and while he was under arrest, there was an attempt to do a strip search inside of that bathroom. There were 2 officers who were inside the bathroom who used their department-issued tasers in an attempt to get the arrestee, a victim, to comply with their requests during the strip search. During this incident, a street crime officer was observed striking the arrestee, who's the victim, causing a package to fall from the anal area, from his anal area, which is believed to be synthetic marijuana. Due to that taser being armed, the taser sends a signal to the body camera, and that department-issued body camera was activated. The officers didn't realize that the body camera was on until after the incident. An officer was then directed by a supervisor to show them what was recorded on the body camera. The footage on the body camera was viewed by way of an app, a mobile app called Axon View. It was used to view the recording. According to our investigation, we learned that a supervisor believed that the contents on that video were violations of our policy and excessive use of force, and then directed an officer to get rid of the body camera so that the evidence could not be downloaded in the docking station. A plan was then made to cover up the incident and get rid of the body camera. Based on our investigative efforts, 4 officers were charged. We, after meeting with the district attorney's office concerning our investigative efforts, our investigators went to a judge in the 19 JDC and 4 warrants were issued. 1 on Corporal Todd Thomas for malfeasance in office, simple battery, theft, and obstruction of justice. 1 for Deputy Chief Troy Lawrence Sr. for malfeasance in office, principal to simple battery, principal to theft, and principal to obstruction of justice. A warrant was also issued for Sergeant Jesse Barcelona, malfeasance in office, principal to theft, and principal to obstruction of justice. A warrant was also issued for Corporal Douglas Schutz for malfeasance in office. Let me emphasize that we take these allegations seriously, and we remain committed to the justice and well-being of our community. Accountability is not just a word, it's the fundamental principle of how our profession operates. When misconduct occurs, we will acknowledge it, we will confront it, and we will rectify it. This process starts with holding those responsible accountable, regardless of their rank or tenure, and it's exactly what we're doing. No one is above the law, and that includes members of my department and my staff. But accountability doesn't stop there. True reform requires a close look at our practices, our policies, as well as our culture. And it demands that we learn from our missteps and commit to transparency and embrace change. We must continue to build trust with the community we serve, and that means by actively engaging with our community, listening to your concerns, and making the necessary improvements. Growth isn't a one-time action, it's a journey. It's an ongoing journey. And it's about continuing to reshape our approach to focusing on constitutional and procedural justice policing and community collaboration and fairness. It's about ensuring that the actions of a few do not define our entire force, but rather the dedication of many to uphold the highest standards of integrity. Mayor Brown.
Thank you, Chief, and the BRPD administration. You all have certainly been instrumental in swiftly addressing serious allegations. Now, I just want to clarify the actions that we have taken. The Brave Cave is now permanently closed. The Street Crimes Unit has been disbanded. We have actively engaged the FBI to ensure thoroughness. And as you just heard from Chief Murphy-Paul, arrests have been made. Now, in concurrence with the Chief's comments, transparency and accountability will always be a cornerstone of this administration. Make no mistakes about it. And let me take a moment to address the concerns of some of the Metro Council members about Wednesday's meeting and the requests that they have expressed about Chief Paul's departure. To be clear, Chief Paul already announced his resignation 2 months ago. As we stated then, he will continue to be the chief of the Baton Rouge Police Department until November. The best plan for BRPD is to have a transition to an interim or new chief that is informed and well-equipped. And I believe that Chief Paul is an integral part of that process. And while I share many of the sentiments about his message or the delivery of his message, that it did not meet expected decorum of our community's leadership, I expect all members of my administration to all times pay highest regards to any and all elected officials. But let me also stress that the calls by some Metro Council members for his immediate dismissal have nothing to do with the matter at hand, which are the very serious allegations about the actions of some members of the Street Crimes Unit. And let me also say, we have been effective in holding criminals accountable in this city. Because of our strategies and Chief Paul's leadership, we have made significant investments in the Baton Rouge Police Department, which have resulted in a higher pay for our officers, and now nearly 2 straight years of double-digit reduction in homicides and non-fatal shootings. Let me repeat that, because we often don't hear that from the press. That our work has resulted in a higher pay for officers, and now nearly 2 straight years of double-digit reductions in homicides and non-fatal shootings. Now, let me speak to the selection of a new police chief. The Civil Service Board is set to approve the police chief examination, as I understand it, by the next scheduled meeting, after which time I will have 60 days to make an appointment. Between now and then, I am going to take a hard look at all the candidates to make sure that we have the right lot. I will start the process over if I cannot find the experience, the courage, the vision, and the leadership set to address the needs we have in and out of our department. We owe that not just to you, the people who I am accountable to, but to every single Baton Rouge police officer who wants to lead with honor and strength, shoulder to shoulder with the finest of officers. To ensure the pledge that I made to you when I was first elected, that all East Baton Rouge Parish citizens will be treated with respect and equality in keeping with the letter of the law, we know that we must eradicate any remnants of injustice or improper actions to clean up a culture that has been around for 150 years. To put it in terms that you can relate to, this is not a time for just an annual checkup. This is time for a full body MRI to diagnose and reveal any dysfunctions or wrongdoings. I owe that to the officers of the Baton Rouge Police Department, and I owe it to every citizen in Baton Rouge. All the leaders at the table must be willing to work collaboratively, and that includes our police department, leadership, municipal government, our police union, and community, all pulling together in the same direction to weed out, retrain, discipline, or part ways with those who cannot develop themselves to follow department policies. Based upon what we are hearing today, I believe the city of Baton Rouge needs to have a form of an independent and impartial body responsible for reviewing police actions, reviewing complaints, and providing a platform for residents to voice their concerns, to share their perspectives, and directly participate in shaping policing policies and practices. I am asking our community, my legislative counterparts, and union leaders to join me in embracing this path forward. An agency-level culture shift will be very difficult to change, but it can and will be done with diligence, with time, and most important, with consistency. Thank you for being here today.
Yeah, I do for the chief. Chief, you said that there were officers involved in the incident. Knowing that, do you think there's other incidents that have been covered in the police department?
So right now, we have 9 administrative investigations that are currently going on. That's being conducted by our Internal Affairs Division. The group that's conducting the criminal investigation started off with 4 investigations. One you learned about last week when we announced the arrest of a former Baton Rouge police officer, Troy Lawrence Jr., who was charged with battery. That investigation has concluded. There are still 2 ongoing criminal investigations that are active. In this investigation that we wanted to announce today, the recent arrest is also ongoing. So I want to be clear that there are other facts related to this investigations that I will not disclose today because it is an ongoing investigation. All of the complaints that we are looking into as they come in, we're making a determination if there's either criminal and administrative. Some are being ran parallel with each other. And we're also encouraging citizens to call the FBI directly when they have information. So the investigative process will tell us that. Obviously, for us to early on in August go directly to our Federal Bureau of Investigation, I had concern that this investigation required some federal independent oversight based on some of the things I learned early on.
Laura?
Thank you, Chief Paul. Can you speak on how the body camera footage was disposed of?
It's still an ongoing investigation.
Scotty?
These charges are not directly related to the Brave case, but can you speak to our reporting and the multiple investigations that have been launched? Was that encouragement for that whistleblower to come forward?
You know, I think it's a few things, Scotty, with your story. I think that what we're seeing, and all of these complaints have not come directly to me, Scotty. I've received calls from elected officials, from attorneys, encouraging them to give us an opportunity to interview their clients in these particular cases. Some have, some haven't. This is an example of a complaint where the attorney actually cooperated with us, gave us an opportunity to interview, which we learned to be the victim in this particular case, and it's because of that cooperation, in part, that we were able to develop probable cause for this arrest. So I think in some of these cases, because people hear that there's an active investigation, we are seeing others are coming forward. And I don't know if they would have come forward if your story had not broken first. So I think that has given some in the community some courage to come forward and give us an opportunity to look into it. I'll give you an example. I received a call yesterday from a city council member who wanted to provide some encouragement to me, understanding the challenging times that we're in. And there was a citizen, and she just wanted to pray. She said, I just want to pray because she shared an example where she believed that she was wrong. She didn't want to file a complaint. I encouraged her to, but she said she was at peace, and she appreciates the accountability when it was announced yesterday that arrests were being made. So, yeah, your story did have something to do with that, brother.
Katie?
If I have 2 questions, one for the mayor, one for the chief, you want me to ask them back to back, or are you going to go around?
Spit them on out.
All right. Well, for the chief, the whistleblower is the one who allegedly lost his body cam. Is he going to be facing immunity, or will they be facing charges?
I don't think I revealed who that was in my investigation. This is an ongoing investigation. We want to protect the integrity of the investigation, but I don't believe I said that in any of my comments.
Okay. And then for the mayor, so out of your candidates for the next chief, one of them, some of them are insiders already. Do you think that the public is going to trust an insider now to take over?
I believe that there are some people in the community who probably have some genuine and authentic concerns about internal candidates, but we do have a process. And as we move forward with that process, a level of community input will be included.
Sydney?
Yes, I have two questions as well, both for the chief. First question is, what is your response to the councilwoman calling for your resignation?
I am leaving on November 3rd. I believe it's the date that I previously stated, and I'm committed to that date.
And also, do you know, did you guys get any complaints prior to August in regards to the Brave Cave, or were you guys made aware of the situation prior to?
You know, the first time we heard of the Brave Cave was doing Scotty's story that was ran. That was the first time that we ever heard the term Brave Cave used. We did learn through our investigation that a complaint had been filed about the incident, which led to Scotty's story. And the failure to investigate that incident when it originally came is under internal review. I am waiting on a report from my chief of staff. They've already done some interviews with the internal affairs investigator on why that investigation wasn't initiated when it was initially sent. However, when Scotty ran his story in reference to it, we immediately took action and started a full investigation by our Internal Affairs Division and also a parallel investigation with our Criminal Division.
Kevin, Bob, so you get the last one.
Sure. First, I wanted to clarify the employment status of those officers, but also as now that you see that the deputy chief was involved in this, does every case he touched or oversaw now need to be investigated or reviewed? And are you calling for that review?
Well, you know, as an administrator, he's he's not out there doing the work. Obviously, we take these complaints seriously because we're talking about an investigation that occurred when he was not deputy chief. He was a lieutenant then. So all of these behaviors are being investigated. We take every complaint seriously. You know, one of the things I looked at when we first learned and through Scotty's story was a lot of the story was focused on just the Brave Cave incident and one individual. But you know, when I began to look at it early, I was more concerned of a culture issue with that unit, right? That it was just bigger than that. And I think you'll see this investigation didn't happen there, but it did involve members of the unit who are past members of the unit and active. And we're going to continue to look at all of those complaints. We've already started the review of policies and just to make sure if there's any holes that matters like this don't occur again, while at the same time making sure that we're conducting thorough investigations on every single complaint.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Chief. Guys, do you have anything to follow up with? Thank you so much.